Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to call this meeting of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to order. Today is Wednesday, March 8th, 2023. The time is 9:30 a.m. And with us today are Commissioners Emily Lindley and Bobby Janeka, as well as our General Counsel, Mary Smith, and I'm John Neerman. For those of you who are joining us virtually, please remember to keep your microphones muted when you're not speaking. For those making presentations, please wait to begin your presentation until our General Counsel or I have asked you to begin. On items where argument or discussion is allowed, we will inform speakers of their time limits. Registration is now closed, but if you'd like to address the Commission on a particular item, please email agenda@tceq.texas.gov. Include your name, your affiliation, and the item that you'd like to speak to, and we will do our best to accommodate your request. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody for being present. And Ms. Smith, I'll ask you to please call the first item.
Item number 1 is the application by Entergy Texas Incorporated for air quality permit numbers 166032, GHG PSDTX 210, and PSDTX 1598. The parties have been notified that the commissioners will not take oral argument but may ask questions, and those who have signed in will be noted for the record.
So for those who are not familiar with our process, Chapter 55 of our rules provides a two-part analysis for considering requests for contested cases on major NSR applications. First, we consider whether the requesters have met the procedural and substantive requirements to be entitled to a contested case. And assuming at least one has met those requirements, we then consider which issues to refer for hearing. So part 1 is about who gets a hearing, and part 2 is about which issues are referred. Requesters who are affected in a manner different from the general public and who make timely comments articulating personal concerns that are relevant and material to the application and who express those concerns in a timely hearing request are entitled to a hearing. Associations can have standing if, among other factors, they identify a member of their organization who has standing in their own right. And colleagues, on this item, we have numerous requests, including a rather large set of nearly identical form letters, as well as a joint request by several conservation organizations. It's not clear to me that any of the requests are truly requests for contested case hearings, but I think out of abundance of caution, I'll say we're going to analyze those as if they are requests for contested case hearings. The conservation organization request does not identify a member who would have standing in their own right. The form letters, none of the form letters describe a personal concern that would differentiate them from the general public. So it's my view that all of the requests fail to meet the requirements for granting a contested case hearing. Commissioner Lindley, I think I see you nodding in agreement.
Yes, I was just going to say I'm in agreement.
Commissioner Janeka, likewise. All right. Well, in that case, I believe we're ready for a motion.
I would move that we deny all hearing requests, that we issue air quality permit numbers 166032, GHG PSDTX 210, and PSDTX 1598 to Entergy Texas Incorporated as recommended by the Executive Director, and that we adopt the Executive Director's response to comments.
I second the motion. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Ms. Smith, when you're ready, please call the next item.
Item number 2 has been continued to the March 31st agenda. And so that brings us to item number 3. And that is the discussion of the TCQ historically underutilized business program for the fiscal year 2022 annual report. And the executive director's staff are here to present.
Good morning.
Good morning. Get my reading glasses. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Clarabelle Diaz, Hub Program Coordinator of Financial Administration Division. I have with me Yolanda Davis, Deputy Director of the Financial Administration Division, and Amy Mendez, Attorney of the General Law. We are representing the Executive Director. Today, I will be talking about TCEQ FY22 fiscal year annual data. The report has been submitted to the Executive Office and above in regards to our hub expenditures and goals. The statewide hub goal utilization is actually provided by CPA, and TCEQ has adopted those goals. For commodities, the goal is 21.1, other services is 26, professional services 23.7, and special trades 32.9. TCEQ accomplished for the commodities 50.81% with a little bit more of 4 million expenditures. Other services, we accomplished 36.34%, a little bit more of 18 million. Professional services, 5.02%, 302, a little bit more than 302,000. That one is a little bit low due to not having too many professional services contracts at TCEQ. Special trades, we accomplished 53.82, and that would be $231,000. The source came from the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts Consolidated Annual Report that was received for fiscal year 22, and its data was the final report on January 20, 2022. Now I will be talking about the hub utilization in regards to hub categories. Hubs are historically underutilized businesses. In regards to the ethnicity, Asian Pacific, we paid $3.6 million, and our percentage of usage was 15.33. We had 17 vendors. Black, $2.5 million. The percentage was 10.63%, and we had 17 vendors. Hispanic, $2.3 million. 9.66%, we had 29 vendors. Native Americans, 1,000, a little bit more of 1,000, 0.01, only one vendor. Service disabled veteran, a little bit more of 339,000, percentage was 1.45%. We had 4 vendors. Woman owned, we paid $14.7 million. Our percentage for the woman ethnicity was 62.93, and we had 85 vendors. For fiscal year 22, TCEQ ranked 8th among agencies spending more than $5 million in terms of the percentage of agency expenditures spent on hubs. Total TCEQ FY22 expenditures, a little bit more, 65 million. And the total expenditures with hubs expenditures equal a little bit more of 23 million. That equals 35.57%. TCEQ surpassed its commodities, other services, and special trades goals. TCEQ did not meet its professional services goal. The agency does not usually attain this goal. The main challenge in this area is the limited presence of hubs providing the services needed. A note, professional services in fiscal year 22 declined to 5.02 utilization. In the previous year, we were a little higher. That does not mean that this year will not go a little higher than the 5.02. We're trying our best. The decline was attributable to closure of a site where hub services were provided and a correction to expenditure coding. The coding correction reclassifies some expenditures from professional services to other services. TCEQ attended 64 economic opportunity forums to market the hub program to vendors and participated in the statewide hub discussion workgroup. We continue to doing so. TCEQ participated in the Governor's Small Business Office hub webinars, the second annual Greater Houston Black Chamber Procurement Expo, Senator Miles Houston Minority Supplier Development Council Spot Bid Fair, Senator West Spot Bid Fair, and more. TCEQ sponsors 2 mentor protege agreements, Those agreements are between prime contractors and hubs to assist hub growth and development. Sponsoring a mentor protege program is required for agencies with biannual appropriations exceeding $10 million. Our action plan for 2023. The hub program will resume meeting with directors and the direct report to review the office's expenditure patterns, encourage hub utilization, and field questions. The hub program will continue additional measures to improve hub utilization. Efforts will include recruiting through outreach activities as noted above and with organizations such as chambers of commerce, hosting workshops for hubs on how to do business with the state of Texas, inviting hubs to participate in pre-solicitation conferences to meet our prime contractors or probable contractors, encouraging program areas to continue to addressing hub utilization in their procurement and contracting. That is all I have for today. If you have any questions, I'm here.
Thank
To
you, Ms.
respond.
Diaz. You answered my questions. Colleagues, any questions?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Smith, has anybody signed in to speak?
No one has signed in?
Mr. Arthur?
I think I do. I just have a point really that I want to discuss further with y'all. That is, I think there's a really unique opportunity that exists in the workforce in our state and more broadly in our country, where there's going to be a lot of retirements and a lot of brain drain from some of the state and federal agencies, where there may be a new workforce who could be interested to come answer and show up in this hub space where our agencies always struggle to go out and find specifically the professional services out in the marketplace. If there aren't potential bidders to fill into that category and find that need, we will always look like we're failing in trying to meet state needs with those particular vendors in our state. So I would love to dig deeper with y'all in what that number is on a sub-unit level in terms of our different programs and agencies. If there's opportunity to try to address more low-hanging fruit than others, as we have that interesting workforce dynamic in the years ahead. So thank you. And number 8 in the state is, I think, great for recognizing progress that we're achieving where we haven't been able to do so. Thank you. Keep it up.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Arthur?
Thank you, Chairman. I don't have any comment at this time. I would say that, the hub program is definitely something that I think serves the public's interest, and I appreciate the good work. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Arthur. Ms. Diaz, thank you so much for you and the team for all the work you do on the hub program. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
No action is necessary on this item. So Ms. Smith, when you're ready, please call the next item. Should say items, plural.
Items 4 through 14 are enforcement docket, and the executive director staff is here to present these items.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Melissa Cordell of the Enforcement Division, and with me today are Michael Parrish, also of the Enforcement Division, and Gitanjali Yadav of the Litigation Division, representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 4 through 14. The total assessed administrative penalties are $279,788, with $46,578 deferred, $68,880 applied towards supplemental environmental projects, and $164,330 to the general revenue. We respectfully request approval of these items and are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Cordell. I have none. Colleagues, any questions? Seeing none, Ms. Smith, has anybody signed in to speak?
We have folks signed in on 4, 5, and 6 who are available to answer questions, but they don't need to address.
Thank you, Mr. Arthur.
OPIC supports adoption of these enforcement orders as presented by ED staff.
I do too. Colleagues, I think I'm ready to move forward.
Likewise, I've got a motion. I will just say, I appreciate the individuals being available on items 4, 5, and 6, and also I'm grateful to see that each of those items happen to have, they were taking advantage of our SET program in that agreed order. I make a motion that we adopt items 4 through 14 as recommended today by the executive director.
I second.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ms. Smith, are you ready? Please call the next item.
Item 15 is the consideration for adoption of repeal of Chapter 36, which is the suspension or adjustment of water rights during drought or emergency water shortage. The executive director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. My name is Cole Malley of the Environmental Law Division, and I'm here on behalf of the Executive Director. With me today is Kim Nygren from the Water Availability Division. During the last quadrennial review, Chapter 36 was identified as obsolete after these rules were declared invalid in state court. The proposed repeal was published in the October 7, 2022 issue of the Texas Register. On November 10, 2022, the ED conducted the public hearing for the repeal of Chapter 36. During the hearing, only one comment was received and has been addressed in the preamble of the repeal. In addition to requesting permission to publish the adopted repeal, the Executive Director requests permission to make non-substantive changes to comply with the Texas Register formatting requirements. Thank you. We're available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Malley. I do not have any questions. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none. Ms. Smith, is anybody signed in to speak?
No one's signed in.
Mr. Arthur? Okay.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Executive Director. My name is Eli Martinez with the Office of Public Interest Counsel. We participated in these rulemaking efforts, and we are satisfied that they serve the public interest by avoiding any confusion with the regulated community and the public as to the extent of the Executive Director's authority during times of extreme drought. We did note the comment that was made, and we agree with the disposition of the rulemaking team as to that comment. And for these reasons, we support adoption, but we're available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Colleagues, these rules are invalid and the Farm Bureau case, so we should go ahead and repeal them.
Agreed. I'll make a motion, or sorry, I would move that we adopt the repeal of 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapters 36, as recommended by the Executive Director.
Reluctantly second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ms. Smith, when you're ready, please call the next item.
Item 16 is the consideration of the adoption of amendments to 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapters 292 and 293. The Executive Director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. On behalf of the Executive Director, I'm Justin Tech with the Water Supply Division. With me today is Kayla Murray with the Environmental Law Division. This adopted rulemaking removes 30 Texas Administrative Code, Section 292-1A5 and 292-13-5 regarding special requirements for certain districts and authorities. It revises 30 TAC 293-13-6 regarding management policies for river authorities, and revises 30 TAC Section 293-59K relating to economic feasibility of projects. The rulemaking will provide consistency with the repeal of Texas Water Code Chapter 9 and abolishment of the Central Colorado River Authority from Senate Bill 3 from the 80th session, Senate Bill 2262 from the 85th session, and staff-initiated River Authority and feasibility tax rate revisions. The proposed rules were published in the November 4th, 2022 issue of the Texas Register. A public hearing was held on December 7th, 2022, and the public comment period closed on December 7th, 2022. The rule team did receive public comments. All comments received were in favor of the rulemaking without any changes. In conclusion, staff respectively recommends adoption of this rulemaking to Chapter 292 and Chapter 293. Additionally, staff requests authorization to make non-substantive revisions necessary to comply with Texas Register requirements. Thank you, and we are available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Tack. I have none. Any questions? Seeing none. Ms. Smith, is anybody signed in to speak?
We have a person signed in who indicated that they don't wish to address.
Thank you. Mr. Wayne, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and the Executive Directors, Attorneys, and staff. I'm Sheldon Wayne for the Office of Public Interest Counsel. Our offices participate in this rulemaking and we support adoption. With respect to Chapter 293, OPIC finds that the amendments will ensure that districts within Chambers County are able to issue necessary debt while maintaining an allowable tax rate consistent with TCEQ rules. And also we note that it's supported by the regulated community as indicated by the comments received by the Commission. With respect to Chapter 292, OPIC agrees with the ED that the amendments are needed to maintain consistency with statute and to update a number of references and requirements. As such, OPIC supports adoption. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Colleagues, without repeating what Mr. Wayne just said, I'm in agreement. I'm ready to move forward with adoption.
Likewise, I make a motion that we adopt the amendments to 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapters 292 and 293, as recommended by the Executive Director.
A second.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ms. Smith, when you're ready, please call the next item.
The next item is our public comment session, and we currently don't have anyone signed in to speak, but we'll pause and see if there's anyone in the room. Seeing no one, that moves us to items 18 through 21, which are for closed session, but the commission will not be meeting in closed session today.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. We are adjourned at 9:51.